Trying to find a place I went wrong. I got a couple problems, but I'll make it alone. I can't write all my wrongs, but I can write them in songs.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Man Cave. Of course, it's your boy Markeith.
Too Smooth, the one and only.
And we have another good topic for you today. So last time we tackled porn. This time, we want to talk to you about sex.
The sign.
Oh.
You talking about sex?
Yeah, sex.
Cool, alright.
Alright, so what do you know about sex?
See, in my time, let me stop. Let me
I
stop.
was to say,
It's some folks out here. It's some folks out here who will take that 30-second clip, probably not even that, and will use that to slander my name the rest of my life. They doing it anyway. It don't matter.
Yeah.
Man,
So
sex. I guess we should just go ahead and just go and get into the nitty gritty of it, you know.
What's the nitty gritty?
I don't know.
What's the definition of nitty gritty?
We finna find out.
Okay.
Are you afraid?
No, I'm not afraid.
Okay, good.
At this point, if I done did it, I done did it. Okay?
I mean, yeah.
If I done already did it, I done already did it. But at the end of the day, y'all, look. What's it you said last episode, Jared?
Okay. This is not a disclaimer. This is a fact, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything that we are giving you guys and that we are teaching on and that we are talking about and that we've done. I had a thought, but okay, I'll go another direction with it. We will take these hits. We will take this backlash. We will take the shame.
Mm-hmm.
We will take the slander.
Yeah.
We will take all of that, right? So that y'all can get free and live better lives, right? Because that's the whole point. Raising up better men, escaping the stigma, building men. How can you escape if you don't know what you're running from? How can you build if you don't have a sense of vision, right? We've made enough mistakes to give y'all a pretty good blueprint on how to be successful. So now that I've said that, we're gonna go on and get into it.
I think we should also start back saying Man Cave, escaping the stigma, building men, because that is a part of the name.
Yeah, it is.
We always forget to say that.
I mean, Walmart didn't always say save money, live, whatever.
It's not a part of the name though. It's just a slogan.
Oh, well, hate Walmart anyway.
It's alright.
Spend too much money there.
No, don't say that. Just get the one to sponsor us. We love you, Walmart. Okay, yeah. So what originally is sex? Sex is originally a gift from God.
Right.
Okay? It's a gift for man and woman to create covenant and to reproduce and multiply.
Yeah, very well said.
Yeah.
Sex is also a time for you to get your freak on. No, I'm just playing. I mean, it is, in the marriage bed, recognized before God. But no, sex is also a form of worship. God is pleased when we have sex with our wives, men. Key word, our wives, right? Not Susie from around the block. Not Quita, who, I don't know, works at, Top Golf or whatever. Our wives. Mm-hmm. Sex within the parameters that it was made for is a beautiful, beautiful thing that God wants us to enjoy. Have you, my friend, enjoyed any of that good sex?
Some form of it, yeah. I've definitely enjoyed some forms of it. Unfortunately, well, it wasn't unfortunately in the moment, but unfortunately now, because like you said, in the moment, you don't necessarily realize the collateral that comes with it, or what you're necessarily doing to your spirit or doing to your body as a whole. But yes, I did. How about you, good sir?
Oh yeah. Yep. Unfortunately, I was raised in a Christian household. My father is a minister. My mother was active in the church. Brother was a musician. All these wonderful things. And I remember I told myself, I was like, I'm gonna wait till marriage. I'm gonna do it. And I went strong for a long time. And then it was like a blur. One messy blur.
Yeah.
And it all just crumbled to the ground. Needless to say, I failed.
Horribly.
Yeah. It's okay though, you know.
Yeah, for me too.
Failure is an opportunity to do better. It's the way I look at it.
It's always an opportunity to do better.
And so, what did you learn while dabbling in the realm of sex?
Well, first of all, I learned what I wanted and didn't want. That's first and foremost. But also, I've learned shame. I say that because it's kind of like you really don't know what you're doing, and even when you know what you're doing, it's kind of just like you don't want nobody to know. Still,
Yeah.
you know, so much has happened. Okay, so much shameful stuff. You know, some stuff to this day, like I would love to take to my grave, but at the end of the day, what Pastor Mike God said, you can't condemn me for what I've confessed.
Oh yeah.
You cannot condemn me for what I've confessed. And besides, since I consider this our ministry, you know, I consider this, you know, something that I would like to, you know, take to the next level and reach many different people, whatever.
Right.
I feel that it's best that I be very transparent and very open about all kinds of things that I've done and did or whatever. So, but yeah.
No, I feel that.
And
like,
I will be in just a second. Go ahead.
Man, sex taught me a lot. It definitely taught me what I do and don't want. But it also taught me that like sex is so much more than pleasure.
So much more.
Cause I'm not gonna lie, you know, I initially, you know, I was a porn addict for years, and so it shaped my view on sex, you know, and it really warped it, you know, and so the porn actually made it 10 times easier to give in and be like, well, marriage can wait. You know, that's a long time. And so, yeah, it made me devalue it, honestly, and it made me devalue myself, because I feel like one of the things with sex is like we don't understand sex, right? Because like, yeah, sex is for pleasure between a man and a woman. Sex is for, you know, reproducing. It's worship to God. But one of the most important, I mean, they're all important, but to me, if I just had to rank them, you know, I think that the number one answer, in my opinion, you know, this isn't fact. This is Jared's dictionary, okay? I would think that the most important thing is that it joins two people. You know, it combines them into one. The Bible literally says that the two shall become one flesh, one mind, one spirit. You know what I'm saying?
And that is covenant.
Right. And so, you know, you make covenant with the wrong people, now you have a soul tie.
Yeah. And it'd be crazy. It's crazy how people do not believe in soul ties at all. Some people will really argue, well, I don't see it in the Bible.
And it's like, no, it's there.
You know, it's just like people interpret the Bible in so many different ways, and a lot of the times, you know, it's not always the right way. But that's a whole nother sermon in itself. But anyways, so sir,
What's up?
what else you want to tell us? We get down to the nitty gritty.
Oh man, I ain't scared. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you can't condemn me for nothing that I confess. But man, sex is a dangerous game to play. You know, and it'll make you feel like a hero when you be the winner in there, and you be like, oh yeah, I just did my thing. You know what I'm saying? You feel like the big man on campus. Can't nobody tell you nothing. You got the Superman cape flying in the wind. You know, you want to text all your homeboys. You know, and it does nothing for your soul, nothing good. And I guess that's the thing, is like, sex outside of marriage does nothing but break your heart. And I had to learn that the hard way, because I didn't know what I was trying to satisfy. You know what I'm saying? And so by not knowing what I was trying to satisfy, by not knowing essentially who I was, then I tried to find my identity in that. You know what I'm saying? And it caused me to be in relationships that I didn't need to be in, having sex with people I didn't need to be having sex with, connecting myself to people I didn't need to be connected to. You know what I'm saying? And some of those soul ties followed me long after the people were gone. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't no game you want to play. Like, man, sex, it'll have you sneaking around. It'll have you acting different. It'll have you arrogant. It'll have you prideful. You know what I'm saying? It'll have you like
lying to your friends and everything.
Yeah, did I lie to you? I probably did. I don't know. But it'd be like that.
That's cool.
But
I did too.
Yeah.
It's kind of how it is.
Part of the journey.
Yeah.
But yeah, sex is, man, let me tell y'all something. Guys, sex does not make you a man.
It doesn't.
Okay? It does not at all. Like, in no category does it make you a man. It don't matter how much or how little. Your manhood is not wrapped up in sex. And if it is, it's not manhood.
It's not, and I really, really hate that a lot of people, a lot of men use like what's between a woman's legs as a rite of passage into manhood. Because when it's not,
I hate that. Yeah.
When it's not, and to be honest, they're still teaching young boys this.
Right.
Like you know, one of my mentees, you know, he was telling me how like when he was raised, you know, that's kind of like what they would tell him, and he was only like little. He was like, man, you gonna get you some. I'm like, that's a child. What are you talking about?
Right.
I'm just like, man, it's crazy because like it's still out here today. But man, sex will really have you out here just like, okay, what's next?
Right.
Okay, well, who can do it better? Type thing, you know, like it will have you. I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I kind of wilded out. I definitely wilded out. Done said a lot of things, sent a lot of things. Lord have mercy. So y'all, if they see the light of day, they look, yeah, it was me. Look, hey. I can't even deny it. It was me. Okay, it was me. So
if I ever get exposed, shop is closed. I ain't on that type of time no more.
Definitely, you know, and like, you know, recently, I guess this is something I feel comfortable. Well, I feel comfortable sharing anything. I don't care. I'm kind of like one of those open books, but as long as you kind of like just ask the right questions, you know, because if anybody come ask me anything, I will always honestly answer. But it was so recently, you know, somebody hit me up from the past or whatever, and it was like, you know, because I used to have like this text now app or whatever where I do all my sneaky stuff on.
Yeah. You was smarter than me. I was iMessage stuck. All kinds of receipts on me.
Oh man, and you know, like, you know, so I was dilly-dallying on different apps or whatever, you know, just sending all kinds of stuff, you know, just saying all kinds of stuff, you know, for what that episode was. For those who've seen the episode of Trauma, you know, in my childhood, I was sexually abused, you know, by another male, which honestly, made me a lot more confused, a lot more. It actually made me hate myself. For so long, I blamed myself. Actually, I blamed myself and I hated myself. Why? I have no idea, because I was a child and didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah. But
that's just a normal reaction, you know, to people who've been abused and stuff of that sort. But I addressed that in an episode. You've seen it. But but it left me so confused. So it was kind of just like I was going around, kind of being like, okay, cool. Let me just be sure, you know, that I'm not gay, or that I'm not this, or I'm not that, or whatever. So I was out here dilly-dallying with guys and stuff or whatever, and very shame, but like, but that's what I did, you know, and that's your story, that's my story, exactly. So, well, but like you.
No, not even like that. But man, I can't stand a person. I'm gonna say this, then I'm gonna shut up. But man, you can't never judge where nobody come from. You can't never judge nobody's story. You know what I'm saying? Because God used all kind of people. And I feel like if you come for Him, you came for me. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like that. I take that real personal. So if you got some comments that I don't like, keep them to yourself.
Please, thank you. I mean,
because
it's crazy because we switch roles. Usually I be the one, what you said, and he be like, it's all right, cool. Let's just keep calm. But now lately, I'm more so of the, it's all right, I'll let it go. And you like the, nah, what the nigga said?
Yeah,
You
I
know,
got time today.
But like that's what happened. I was out here doing those things. I was out here, you know, running around with this guy, that guy, whatever, all that stuff, you know, trying to do things. And it was one of those times where like, okay, so the person that hit me up, you know, that was kind of just like sending me screenshots of my messages and sending me my news back to me with my face in the messages. I don't know why I said my face. But and I was saying all kinds of stuff. Like it made it sound like I was about to meet up with some dude that had a whole girlfriend and was meeting at somebody's random house or whatever, which never happened, you know, because you know sometimes where you be out here just talking crap. You know, good way ain't about to do that, but you just gonna talk crap and talk crap and talk crap.
Oh, there are plenty of girls waiting on me to this day to pull up, and I ain't coming. I was just talking. You just don't know
that was definitely me.
Yeah.
You know, so like I was talking all kinds of crap. Nothing ever happened or whatever. But like recently, they hit me up, sending me this, and it was like, so if you don't want to get exposed, send $500. I'm like, okay, my life is over with. I'll be ruined. Somebody will ever listen to Man Cave again. Oh my God, they're gonna call me a fraud. People at the church were looking at me funny. I was just like, okay, my life is over. My life is ruined. But instead of going and running and hide, first of all, I went to play basketball, you know, and me and Mike, we did our thing. I was so proud of us.
Y'all won one game.
Okay, but we did our thing though.
Out of 3.
Me and Mike did our thing though. Like you could tell we really get the hang of it. Okay, Jared, just give us our props, bro.
Okay, I give props.
Any other day we don't do as good as we did that day.
Okay, yeah, y'all was on.
All right, thank you. That's all I said. That's it.
I'll leave it alone.
Goodness, Lord have mercy. See, Mike, that means we need another rematch. That's gonna happen this week. Anyways, like I was saying, I would do basketball first, but then after that, no, and I'm pretty sure even Jared could tell I was not there completely.
Definitely.
And I wasn't. My mind wasn't there. I just felt far loved, far gone, and I was just like, you know what, I don't know what to do. So, but then what popped in my spirit was the Lord reminded me of that scripture. I believe it's in James, where he's like, confess your sins to your friends, or confess your sins to one another, depending on what version you read. Confess your sins to one another, to your brother, and pray for one another. You know, for lack of better words, I'm not saying it properly, but that's pretty much what it says. And so I was just like, you know what? Let me talk to Jared. So I told him to call me, but you know he had forgot and I fell asleep. So you know we talked the next morning though, and I don't know why I was just so scared in the first place, because he just reminded me first of all, he reminded me, okay, that's the old you. That's not you anymore. Right. You know, and no matter what happens, if this is God, if this is ordained by God, it's going to go where it needs to be. It's going to be covered. It's going to be protected, and all kinds of things. He was also reminding me that you know, that he had my back. You know, and he didn't judge me one bit. He was kind of like, look, well, you know, we got in the same boat. Like, do the same thing to me, type thing, you know. And he really just didn't make me feel scared about it at all. He didn't make me feel uncomfortable. He didn't make me feel like, dang, so what you gonna do? Honestly, I think he was just sitting there, like, he didn't condemn me at all. Instead, he accepted me and he helped me process it. He helped me feel so much better, like so much better. I even talked to Christina too, because my community mainly, when you know, my godly community, I consider it to be him and his sister Christina, because like I talked to her as well, and Christina went in.
Oh, I'm already.
Oh, she went in.
That's what she does.
Man,
She put that on a hat. I go in.
But she goes in, okay, and like she got me all the way together, and she kind of prayed for me, and she kind of just reminded me, you know, scripture. And the number one thing that she said that stuck to me, that had me so weak. She was like, "Baby, I don't care if it happened last night. That's the past." Mm-hmm. And I was like, "Ooh, I'm weak."
That's the
okay.
word, though.
Right. So, but like that happened, and so, I mean, if you see something, it's me, y'all, but not the new me. That's the old me. But yeah, what was out here? Okay, I was out here.
I feel like we've all been out here at some point, though. You know, had some wild times. I've had some wild times. You know, I feel like people have looked at me my whole life like, oh, he's such a nice, mild-mannered young boy. You know, he could never be capable of. I was a freak in the sheets. Okay? I'm just be honest with y'all. You know what I'm saying? What I got a lie for. You know what I'm saying? You can't condemn me for what I confess, right?
Truly.
We've moved on from that. And I think, man, college did a number on me.
Oh, definitely. Oh, what?
And I think the biggest thing about college, they made me realize that I was super desperate. And not just like desperate, like, oh, I want attention, or I just want to be X, Y, and Z. No, I was desperate for love. Something in my childhood, probably could be said that a mixture of things, caused me to feel unloved in many circumstances. And so I realized that it was a cycle in my life of trying to fill that, you know? And so one of the things that sex did for me was that it made me feel loved, because it was an imitation of it. You know what I'm saying? And it really took me through the ringer so bad. I'm talking about didn't know who I was. Looking in the mirror, just as lost, just as confused. And I'm like, well, I'm going to see you again tomorrow night. You know what I'm saying? Just as toe up on the inside. And it's crazy because, like, we're laughing and we're joking, but we know that that's so many of y'all.
Yeah. Because
we've been there. You know what I'm saying? And, like, man, sex is really nothing to play with. Man, sex connects you to people in ways that are so dangerous. I picked up things from people that I know are not me, that I know have never been me. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are always talking about getting STDs and all that kind of stuff, but you can get soul ties and you can get another person's demons. People don't like to talk about that.
Oh, they don't.
Those are the things that happens when you engage in sex outside of marriage. Sex is dangerous. It is a silent killer. And it's crazy because culture promotes it and they tell you to go out and have sex, go and be free, live your best life. You want to have sex with that woman, go have sex. You want to go have sex with that man, go have sex. You want to go and try with that tree, go try with that tree. Man. That's the type of society we live in, a chaotic, lawless society. But we are here to tell you guys that that is not the way to live. Sex is a dangerous, dangerous thing. And, like, man, it took my life up.
See, and from the psychological aspect, I had to make sure I was right, because you have all kinds of different things that release in the brain. In that endorphin, is it endorphins? Endocrines. It's a lot of stuff. I'll be forgetting the name, y'all. Dopamine, serotonin, all of the stuff or whatever. I just want to make sure I had the right name. But when you have sex, you know, your brain releases a huge amount of dopamine. Mm-hmm. Dopamine is what your brain releases. It's known as the feel good hormone. So, like, it will have you on cloud nine. And dopamine is extremely addictive. Yeah. Even if it's just your brain releasing it itself. Mm-hmm. You know, and so honestly, when your brain, so when you're having sex, your brain will release this dopamine, and you will experience this high, you experience this feeling like, oh, everything's amazing, you're on cloud nine or whatever. Then it'll go away. Then you're gonna want more. You're gonna want more and more and more. So that's how people get addicted to sex. They get addicted to that feeling, that dopamine that releases into your brain during during orgasm, you know? And, like, it's kind of hard to, like, really try to distinguish, you know, sex from being psychological and physical, because it is both.
Right.
One and the same. Because, like, psychologically, you know, if I find you attractive, then, you know, like, then my mind is gonna tell Junior, hey, boy, we up. You know, like, it don't matter. Like, it don't matter what's going on. Hey, yo, boy, we up. We like her. But, like, and then like, if I don't find you attractive or something, that's what, like, I would be trying to convince Junior, get up. And Junior like, nah, we're not feeling that. You know, and, like, that right there, that's psychological. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's and honestly, like, it can be stimulating and things of that sort. But, like, psychologically, sex, I don't even know how to put this. Psychologically, sex let me reword it. Sex is, I would say, more psychological and more spiritual than physical.
I agree with that. I do.
That's what I was trying to say. Sorry, people took me so long.
Because like, sex realistically lasts a couple hours. You know what I'm saying? And I mean that's not even straight. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like the effects of it can last a lifetime. You know, and I feel like the thing is like, I wish I had my wallet on me. I could do a demonstration right now, make some of the YouTube pastors proud.
What you need?
But let me borrow a couple bucks. I don't have mine on me at the moment.
Well, I don't keep cash.
Okay, yeah, close
I
that.
keep a card.
Close that up. But I'm gonna create the illustration anyway, without the money.
I know what demonstration you're talking about.
Yeah,
I have coins.
That's fine.
Blessed.
Well, you know, I won't even need to waste time.
Right.
So, you know, with this demonstration, the way I look at it is like, a person starts out with $100, right? That's how God creates us. Then as we get older and we begin joining ourselves to people, which is sex, right? The two become one flesh, one mind, one soul, one spirit, right? That's my $100. So if I go join over here with Shirley from Saltgrass Steakhouse, I just gave her $20, right? And a good night. Then I go, and a couple years later, I meet Portia, who sells plantains on the side of the road, and I give her $20, right? And I'm just spitballing names here, as y'all can see. And then I meet another chick over here, and we get it on and popping. I give her $20 more. And let's say I'm at the age that I'm at now. I'm at 23 years old. I don't have $100 anymore. Mm-hmm. Now I have, what was that, 3 people, 60? Now I'm down to $40. And that's what it looks like when you go around and you have sex with all these people. You're giving these people pieces of you that you won't get back. That's like if I just take a piece of my skin every time I have sex with somebody and just give it to them. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all would be out here looking like Rufus from Kim Possible. Rufus, your skin would be gone.
They look like, not everybody don't watch anime, but they be out here looking like Brooke from One Piece. Like straight bones. That's it.
There you have it.
You be giving flesh away, muscle tissue, everything.
Right.
You have nothing left.
And that's how you have to look at it. You are literally giving pieces of yourself away that are meant to be intimate, that are meant to be shared with one person, you know, that are meant to be only used within the confines of love, within the confine of marriage, you know. And I think that's the thing that we have to look at, is that, like, what am I really worth? And I guess that's the thing that sex did to me. It made me look at myself and realize that I didn't value myself at all. Like, at all. And it's crazy because people thought that I was so confident all those years, even before I started having sex, but I still had no idea of what I was worth. So when the sex came along, it was easy to do. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't know how valuable I was. You know, and to those young ladies, you know, I pray that you know how valuable you are. You know, at this point, and I'm sorry that I took a piece of you. Of course, you took a piece of me too, so it was a fair exchange. But you know, don't just act like I just came out here and robbed you. Don't do that. But like, you know, if we saw what we were worth to God, then I think it would change how we did things. Because if we knew how valuable that intimacy is, then we wouldn't just share it with everybody just to feel good, you know, just to get a macadamia. Like, it's not that simple. And I guess that's the thing that broke my heart. And I'm gonna stop because I feel like I'm going off on a long tangent. But y'all don't understand the magnitude of how broken I was, because I didn't get it, you know. And when you don't know your value, you settle for anything. Anything. People will throw you scraps and you're gonna pick it up and eat it like it's a steak dinner from Saltgrass that Shirley gave me, you know. And I think when you start finding your value, you stop just connecting yourself to people. Because who wants to be 30 years old and you connected to 30 people? And now all of these people have pieces of you. What's left to give your kids? what's left to give your spouse? What are you going to pass down? What is your legacy going to be? You know what I'm saying? Like, stop playing with sex. Sorry, I didn't even, we had to get real for a minute
I
there.
understand. I'm just like, how do I follow that? What do I follow up with? So, yeah, all that. But, to be honest, sex actually complicates everything.
Mm-hmm.
It complicates so much. Whenever you add sex into a relationship, things always get a lot worse.
Mm-hmm.
You become more attached. It's like, for guys, she might start acting crazy, or she might, start being too clingy, or, or vice versa. Girls, they got it good like that. He might be a little crazy, or he might this and it. Like, sex complicates so much, and it's kind of like when people start having sex regularly in relationships, it's kind of just like it's no longer about the relationship. Mm-hmm. It's no longer about getting to know the person. It's no longer about who that person is. It's about what they can do for you now. And that's what the relationship becomes. And I think people really forget, like, when sex is made for marriage, people be like, well, how am I supposed to know what I'm going to do when I get married? If I ain't had no practice and this and this and that. Mm-hmm. You learn her body.
Right.
You learn your partner.
Exactly.
Like, because what you've been doing out here for all these other people might not work for your partner. You got to learn your partner's body. That's why they say, like, in marriage, it's all about learning each other. Mm-hmm. It's not just how that person operates when they're angry and this and this and that. That means in the bedroom too. You learning each other.
Thank you.
But yeah, so like truly, like, sex complicates everything. It'll complicate all kinds of friendships. I know plenty of people right now who could literally say sex has come in between so many good relationships that they had, like friendship wise or just like what you call it, actual romance wise,
like romantic relationships.
Yeah, romantic relationships. I'm trying to say. Great job. So like, I always try to encourage people, from a place of where I am now. Can't talk about where I've been because we doing that. Okay, well, don't listen to me. Sorry, but I always try to encourage people to be like, just stay away from it. Just do something different. I'm trying to let you know, because and I will even straight up say, look, I struggle with this and that. Okay, and I'm just trying to let you know this and this and that. They be like, well, you did it and this and that. I'm like, okay, well, that's the take you get from it.
Right.
Do what you do. But some people really just don't want to know right from wrong when it comes to sex. They think sex is the end all be all.
Right.
Like, they think they gotta have it, gotta know it. Like, it's actually sad.
It is sad, and I think it's honestly because we have made sex a safe space where we can get our rocks off and then go about our business. It makes us feel good, that temporary pleasure, like that release of dopamine and all those other, feel good hormones that you were saying. And I feel like because, as men, we don't know how to love ourselves. We don't know how to love the people around us. We say we love God, but we don't. We don't, because we don't know him, and you can't love what you don't know. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so we go to what we feel like is it, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I feel like what people don't realize is that, like, everybody is looking for love, right? The same way that everybody's looking for God and doesn't know it. Because people are always looking for a higher power. They're always looking for a reason. They're always looking for a purpose.
An answer,
right. And now, most people, they go real far left field, they go right field. Different people do different things to come to their conclusions, but everybody's looking for the same things. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I think that's why it's so important that we know God before we know anything else. Because one, like I was telling y'all, my identity was my problem. For a long time, I didn't know myself. But if I had spent more time getting to know God, he could have told me who I was. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because if I need to know about this watch, I'm not going to ask him. He don't know.
I don't know my watch.
I'm going to go to the person who made the watch.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? And they can tell me, oh yeah, if you do this, then it's gonna do that. Or if you flip it on this side and tap it with a screwdriver, it's gonna play a song or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You have to go to the source to get the blueprint for who you are and who you're supposed to be and how things are supposed to function, right? And I think that's the problem. If I had spent more time getting closer to the Lord, then I would have known myself. And then I would have known what love is because he would have showed me. And then my first relationship would have been with him. You know, it would have been with him instead of being with, you know, all these other girls trying to love them. And I don't even know how. I'm physically incapable of it. You know what I'm saying? Or I was at the time. And so, you know, to get in there and to, you know, swivel my hips around and think I knew what I was doing and, you know, I kind of, don't get it twisted, I was cold. But yeah, you know, to get in there, and I feel like I'm so adamant about it because it robbed me of so much, and I gotta throw this in there because I don't think people realize the magnitude of what I'm talking. Like,
that's right. A little deeper.
I was drum major for 2 years at Southern University, the greatest school on the planet.
Come on now,
let's start there.
Let's talk there.
But when you are in position, and the crazy thing, that's not even like a major position in the grand scheme of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool. It's big time. Don't ever get it twisted. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I love my HBCU. Never would trade that experience for anything in the world. But with it comes the pressures of the women. And the pressures, y'all, come so hard that it was like, everywhere I looked, there was a woman who wanted to have sex with me. And so for that first year, I didn't know who I was. So I was dabbling in some things, you know? And it robbed me and it broke me again. And, you know, part of me, as much as I hated the pandemic, I loved it for that simple reason. God showed me who I was during the pandemic. And so, you know, technically, it's like he had to make the whole world stop for me to figure it out. And on one hand, I'm like, dang, you know how many routines I could have had on the field for that? You know what I'm saying? I still have things that will never see the light of day, but that's okay. But he showed me who I was in that season so that when things really, really took off and I had that big major senior year, and I'm talking about I'm beating women off with a stick, I was good.
A stick, a hammer, a crowbar, a bat,
I'm
anything
saying,
fine,
like,
torch.
Literally. And I guess that's the thing that people have to realize is like, man, sex is not something that you can play with. Like, oh man, I don't even want to get into it because I can really just keep going. But I just want to throw this in there too. Like, sex is adultery, right? Everybody thinks that adultery is just like, oh, I cheated on my wife. No. When you have sex outside of marriage, first and foremost, you're cheating on God because he should be your first love long before anything else. And then you're cheating on yourself because the Bible says, in 1 Corinthians, I don't have this memorized, so I wrote it down. 1 Corinthians 6:18-20, flee from sexual immorality. Every other sin a person commits is outside of the body, but the sexually immoral person sins against his own body. And I think that that's powerful because you've got to realize that, like, the things that you're doing is literally hurting you. Like I just told you, it robbed my house empty. You know what I'm saying? I literally shot myself and then cried about the womb. And I'm gonna get off that. What you got?
Man, it's a visual episode. I got man. That's the only thing I wanted to add to that was what was one thing you said? Lord, I'm forgetting now. I'm starting to feel the bags.
Okay,
What was the last? It was not that last.
Let's see.
It was before that.
I'm not gonna lie. I just said a mouthful.
You
of
did
things.
say a mouthful.
Know,
it was something that
like
you said that I
faucet.
wanted to touch on. Whatever. Anyways, sex is also a very scary thing.
Yeah.
Because sex is also when you're most vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
You're extremely vulnerable to that other person, and I don't necessarily know how to go further with that, but like it is extremely vulnerable, and it's kind of just like, how could you do that with somebody you don't trust? You know, me in retrospect, how could you? But you know, how could you? You know, and I'm saying, and like that's what it was. You know, he was saying how like, you know, sex is adultery, and we were saying all these things about sex and everything, and you know, we're not sitting up here on those sanctimonious platitudes thinking we're all better than anybody else. We're not saying that, oh, well, since we ain't doing it no more, we can condemn you about it. That's not what it is. No, we're trying to educate you from, you know, from where we were and where we are now, and us knowing better. You know, us knowing better and doing better. It's one thing to know better and still not do better. It's another thing to know better and do better. It's like I said on the last episode, it's one thing to know the truth and to have the truth. Back then, we always knew the truth. We always knew the truth, what was going on. We was like, you know what, the Lord was going to forgive us. But now we have the truth, which is why we live differently. We move differently, you know, and which is why we try to abstain from those things and run from those things. Because every time Jared was dealing with that stuff on campus, he called me, bro, guess what happened?
I had to.
Man, dude, why this and this? Tell me why this person, or he'll be like, man, you won't believe the messages I just got. I'm like,
bro, I'd have to send him screenshots.
I would be like, I'd be like, you lying. That I know that nobody said that to you in the messages. I didn't even hear that in porn scripts. Are you serious? Man. Like that, it's crazy, bro. Like he's not lying. First and foremost, really not. Like he said, that first year, you know, he didn't quite know himself, you know, dibble dabbled, you know, because like honestly, like me and Jared, we pretty much tell each other just about everything. Like honestly, there is nothing that Jared doesn't know. So if you was to say something, Jared, like that ain't it, he telling the truth because he literally knows everything I did. I have not kept anything from this dude, and that was my way of telling someone so that they can like pray for me and hold me accountable and know what I done did, know where I have been and things of that sort. Cause like, what's the point of living in the dark? It's lonely there. It's cold. It's no one finds you there. So honestly, he would tell me about those things, and honestly, we would just like, I'd be like, man, Eric, stay strong, my boy, because I would have to literally like just talk him off a ledge, because like I said, that first year he didn't know himself, but that second year when he did, he'd just be like, man, you won't believe that crap, the crap I just turned down today, or you just like he wouldn't even mention it until like sometime later. This just so happened to happen because it's something that happened on the regular, but he's not worrying about this stuff anymore. It's not enticing, it's not tempting. Like we love mystery. And when there's no more mystery,
some of it was still tempting though.
Oh, okay.
Some of that stuff I had to tell you with tears in my eyes. I just be like, Lord Jesus.
No lie. And some of that stuff I'd be like, well, Jerry, you sure? Like, you sure you don't wanna? I'm sorry, you know, we're not perfect all the time now. You know, we're still wrapped in fresh flesh. You know, so sometimes I was like, you know what, Mr. White, I won't even be mad at you, okay? I'm just gonna turn my head, okay, and I'm gonna pray for you afterwards. But even then, he still didn't give in. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I still have tears in my eyes.
I'm so proud. That's okay. I understand. I have tears for you. But like, but that's the price that you pay sometimes when you decide to have a walk with God. When you decide to walk with God, when you decide to be, you know, to be fully and committed to Him, you know, until He sends you your wife, or for ladies, your husband, and y'all are completed in covenant. God is still your first love, but now you're also committed to that person, and you can do all that crap you want to do. You hear me? As long as y'all both consent to it, you can do whatever you want to do. All right? Excuse me.
I think the beautiful thing about it too is like it feels like a sacrifice, but to me, it's really more just delayed gratification.
It is.
You know, because I ain't gonna lie, I used to be mad at God for that. I'd be like, Lord, when they do it, it's okay.
But when I do it,
it's a problem.
Oh, talk about it.
I didn't get it. And like I like there were nights where like I would be almost not arguing with the Lord. He was gonna argue with me. But like I would be arguing, fussing. You know what I'm saying? Like with legit tears in my eyes, and I'd be like, God, this is not fair. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at them. And I had to realize that, you know, the Lord was telling me it's not about them. It's about you and what I'm going to do with you. I want to do things with them, but they don't want to do things with me. You're not going to make them. Right. And the willingness changes things. And it made me realize that, like, you know, I can give up sex. I went 18 years without it. 18 years. And I was fine, you know? And to give it up for a few more, or even if it's not a few more, even if it's 10 more, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, anything that God has, any plan that he has, is better than any plan that I can have. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it also prevents me from being a father before I need to be one. So
Amen.
That's a good one too. But man, I just want to stress it so much, because, you know, I used to really be an avid believer in that, you know, the more girls you could get, the more of a man you were. You know, like, you could stick your chest out, like, can't nobody tell you nothing. You had the baddest girl in the school, or, you know, you did X, Y, and Z. You know, you Mile High Club, you Public Place Club, or whatever. I don't know what all the badges they have. You know, I couldn't tell you, but, you know, that is not manhood. It's not. And we have to do better. You know, we have to know better in order to do better.
True, very true. And honestly, so I just want to pose this question before we get up out of here. Look at the time.
Oh yeah, we done rolled.
We done rolled. What needs to be said. The question I want to pose to you is, why do you hold sex so important? What is your reasoning? And honestly, you might not be able to give that off bat. You might have to sit down and think. There might be some things that you can't even remember, but you need to remember in order for you to get down to the root of this. Why is sex so important to you? Why can't you just let it go? Or are you addicted to sex? If that's the case, seek some help. Find your community. We talked about community as well. You know, like, I just really, really hope that we were able to drive home, you know, the importance of it. Right. You know, while also sharing some of our own shameful stuff as well. But hey,
you know, I just want to throw this in there too. Like, I don't know, it's just kind of crazy, because it's like, it's so much freedom in being able to talk about this stuff freely.
Yes.
When you're not in that place anymore.
Yes, definitely.
And the Lord has brought you out of that stuff. Like, we can legit laugh at all this kind of stuff.
Cackle.
And it's wild, because, like, I think, you know, people need to realize, you know, what we're doing. And when we say this, it's not like to pat ourselves on the back. We don't need y'all's pats on the back.
At all.
Nothing personal, but I don't need fans. I got a fan behind me over there. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. But, like, I think that the fact that, you know, we're willing to get up here and do this and say this, you know, we, like, just reiterating what he said, I really hope that it drives home, and I hope that it really empowers somebody to decide, you know, that sex is not more important than their purpose. That's all I'm really trying to say.
Come on. You better. That ain't nothing to say after that. That's right. Think about that. Think about all that.
Yeah.
But thank y'all for tuning in to this episode. If there are some things we missed and you guys still want us to touch upon, definitely hit us up. Inbox us, let us know. And we will definitely come back with a part 2. We'll come back with as many parts as we need. Definitely. You know, or some questions you even want to ask us to address to you personally. You might not want us to do an episode on it, but you just want somebody to talk to. You might want somebody to pray for you, or you just want, you know, like, you just need some community, or you just need some more understanding, you know. Yeah. So, I mean, anything, reach out to us, talk to us. We're available. You have our Instagrams. That's mainly probably the only thing we'll check anyways.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So yeah.
Let us be there for you the way that you guys have been there and have been showing up for us.
Yes, and we appreciate y'all so much. And honestly, we can't help you if you don't let us know.
Exactly.
Thank you. But anyways, thank you for joining us on this journey to manhood and a journey to being more open, honest, and to continue prospering. We'll see you on another episode of Man Cave. So, peace.
Trying to find a place I went wrong. I got a couple problems, but I'll make it alone. I can't right on my wrongs, but I can write them in songs.